Welcome to Future Friday, and with Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice coming out next week, I thought this week it would be fun to ask which will have the higher opening weekend box office total, Batman v Superman or Captain America Civil War. And the reason I'm not going to do total box office numbers is because that's not really fair. If Batman v Superman is horrible, like Batman and Robin-esque, then obviously word of mouth is going to kill it and Civil War will make more. If Civil War is horrible and it's like Spider-Man 3, you got Peter Parker dancing in the streets, then that's going to be terrible and obviously word of mouth will kill that. But I think this particular question is a fascinating one. We're so accustomed to superheroes, but we've never really seen superheroes fight other superheroes. And the stars have happened to align that DC and Marvel are both releasing a huge movie with a similar style within a month of each other. What really makes this a spicy question is that I would argue that Batman v Superman and Civil War are the biggest films for each respective studio to date. People have been waiting for Batman to fight Superman for decades. As popular as The Dark Knight is, it sort of surpassed all the hype and expectations it could have had. And then The Dark Knight Rises, that only made $2 million more than The Dark Knight did opening weekend. I think a lot of people's excitement was diminished when they knew the Joker wasn't going to be in The Dark Knight Rises. As for Marvel movies, the Avengers movies are wildly popular, but I'd argue Civil War is bigger. First of all, there's so many characters in it already that it's almost like another Avengers movie. And second, it's coming off of Winter Soldier, which a lot of people consider to be Marvel's best movie to date. As much excitement as there was to see the first Avengers movie, to see them all on the big screen together, I think people are going to be even more excited to see them fight each other as opposed to generic bad guy A. What's funny is when you first ask this question, I could see someone racing to either answer. Dude, obviously Batman v Superman is gonna have the higher opening weekend. It's Batman and Superman. Who the hell cares about another Marvel movie? Obviously Civil War is gonna have the higher opening weekend. All these movies in the MCU, they've led up to this point. Phase 1, Avengers assemble. Phase 2, they're tested. Phase 3, they're crumbling. And Spider-Man! Ultimately, I think that Captain America Civil War is going to have the higher opening weekend, and here's why. As much as Batman v Superman can sell to the audience that it's something new, something different, the problem is that Marvel is selling Civil War as something different too, and they have a lot more going for it. The allure of Batman v Superman is quite simply Batman v Superman, and DC made a disgraceful marketing mistake in their second trailer when they started to hint that maybe the climax of the movie isn't necessarily Batman v Superman. On the flip side, Marvel is selling Civil War flawlessly. It's Tony versus Cap. Iron Man's team versus Captain America's team. Choose your side. And that's it. If there's a larger threat at the end of the movie, they aren't hinting at it at all. I truly believe that audiences were starting to feel Marvel fatigue with Age of Ultron. Part of that is because it's not the greatest movie, and it might not show in the box office results, but I think people felt it was tired. It was the same old story. So Civil War is actually coming at the perfect time. It piques people's interest knowing that all these heroes who they've watched in 10 movies, at least 10 movies, leading up to this point, they're now fighting against each other. And that just sparks your interest. You think, okay, that's interesting. Who's on whose side? How would that work? That same curiosity will definitely apply to Batman v Superman, but the problem is people aren't as attached to these characters. I really liked Man of Steel, but a lot of people didn't. They didn't feel connected to the story. They didn't feel connected to Superman. And obviously people love Batman, but we don't know this iteration of Batman yet. It could be amazing, but it could also suck. I think the recent reveal of Spider-Man really tips the scales in Civil War's favor. Even if people have Spider-Man fatigue, they're just so curious to see what Marvel can do with the character. Because let's be honest, since Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man hasn't really been represented that well. Personally, I'm more excited for Batman v Superman because I prefer the darker tone. It gives the movie more stakes and it makes me feel more attached to the characters. and I'm just really curious to see what an older version of Batman looks like. Marvel sort of tricked me with Age of Ultron. They sold it as a darker tone, a really serious villain, and it really wasn't that at all. It was kind of false advertising, so I'm a little more skeptical about Civil War. But I do think the box office race is going to be really close between these two. I'm going to predict that Civil War comes in at $202 million opening weekend, and Batman v Superman comes in at $191 opening weekend. So that's not a lot of difference. I think they're both going to do really well, and I think they're both going to be really good movies. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. Which one's going to make more opening weekend? And if you're feeling gutsy, which one's going to make more overall? And which one are you more excited for? Whatever it is, comment below and let me know. And if you like this video, click like. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see you later.